Welcome into the Detroit Lions Live post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. This is a big one today. Detroit Lions getting a massive win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 40-14. to make their record 5-7 here in Week 13 of the NFL. A big day. Lomas Brown. Yes. I'm Danny Rogers. The moment you've all been waiting for. What do we got for him today?
This way, a little shimmy.
A little to the right.
One more
to the left. And back to the right.
All right.
That was all LB's
this is my
idea.
choreographer right here.
I just let him know what he can and cannot do on camera, and that's it. Welcome into the post-game live show. We are all smiles today because Detroit Lions played, I think you can agree with me, LB, probably their most complete game of the 2022 season. Special teams was on point. Michael Badgley, Money Badger, made every single kick he was supposed to today. He had more points than Jacksonville here, which says a lot. Defense coming up big with quarterback hits. You had multiple sacks on the front. And Jared Goff, he was finding his receivers every target with ease today. What impressed you the most off the bat?
Man, Jared. Jared did all day long. Jared Goff, he was great all day. He started the game great. He ended the game great. In between, he was great. I mean, he was just a leader out there on the field. You could feel the guys following him. You could feel them leading, following his lead out there on the field. And Danny, I'm telling you, that O-line, they gave him so much time. Jared was able to scan the field and pick which receiver he wanted to throw the ball to. Outstanding today.
And Jared Goff picked among 11 different targets there today on offense. But let's hear what the head coach, Dan Campbell, has to say about his team's effort today.
Against a team that's, I think, a lot like us, just in, trying to turn the corner, get everything turned back the other way. They do have some youth, they have talent, but, they were playing pretty good football, came off a big win. So, man, our guys played hard. We said going into this game, the bigs did a good job, but really we felt like our skill guys had to show up. That was the key, our receivers and our DBs. We knew it was that type of game, and boy, they did. All the way across the board. Our skill played top-notch today.
What were your thoughts on your offense?
You weren't going to let me finish my opener. This is one of those, I'm like, my God, go ahead.
You really got something better to say.
No.
Your offense wasn't stopped until you took a knee. What does that say about what they played today?
Yeah, they played well. I mean, they played very well. You don't punt the ball, and you're able to stay on the field. You score every possession. Now, I would tell you, because now we feel like, man, there's some of those you wish you could have back. You feel like you could get 4 more out of it instead of the 3. But man, I thought they played at a high level. There again, our skills showed up. Our quarterback played as good as you can play. I think he played as good as any quarterback could play today. I mean, we knew he needed a big game. It was a completion game, and I thought he was on fire. Saint showed up. DJ Chark brought the deep element back for us. He made some big time catches, and Leaf and Reynolds, just to have those guys back, is big for us. And Swift,
What about the play of the guys up front too? It looked like they were multiple here, just able to sit back and pat the ball, go through maybe 3 or 4 before
Yeah, absolutely. They played very well, and it was kind of, I think, one of those games where early we felt like we would hold up. We felt like we were going to be all right, up front. But it was validated very early in that game. We felt like, okay, our guys are going to be just fine.
I guess behind the scenes, what goes into that? They said you guys have been patient all along. Speak about the patience and actually what it took to get him to this point to get out on the field for people who might not understand that. Why have him play that?
Yeah, it was, honestly, today was about just getting his legs under him. Literally, go through pregame, be on the sidelines. You got your pads on, man. Run into a huddle, run out, line up, just wrestle with somebody one-on-one a little bit. And it was really that, more just to get him somewhat acclimated, very much like we did Jerry Jacobs in Dallas, That's really what this was. And we'll get. He's going to get a little bit more next week, but this was just a primer for him. Let's just get his legs under him, so he can get a feel. Man, it's the first NFL game, and so we were good.
You didn't punt. I was just a follow. You didn't punt, but Jake Glazer said you were using on as gunner today. Was that the plan? And if so, why?
Yeah, because we felt like that was the biggest impact he could have today. You know, that we knew just outright, hey, because, you know, he can run. So, and he can do it. He's tough. He's physical. And he's all for it. So, but we didn't punt.
What was it about your team that was able to bounce back from a really tough loss on Thanksgiving? Can you bounce back from it?
Nothing has changed. It's the same group of guys that we've talked about. And it's the same group that, you know, when things didn't look so good, they put in the same amount of work, and they've just gone in and they have not lost faith, and they're unbroken, they're unshaken, and they go to work, man. It's a group of guys that just goes to work, and they believe in the game plan, and they've got a lot of confidence right now. You know, they trust the guy next to them, and we're clicking right now. We're clicking at the right time.
You felt slow to dial back up, switch workload.
Mm-hmm.
Today was the day we mentioned the season high in touches. So what was it about this week, this matchup that gave you the confidence that he was ready to full go?
I'd say this is the best he's looked in practice. You could tell, we could tell on Wednesday he had a spring in his step. He was feeling better, just some of the things, the way he moved, the way, everything. And then just every day he looked better, felt better, and we've said all along, the better he feels and where he feels like he can really open it up and go, then he's going to get more.
Talk a lot about offense, and rightfully so, but defense set the tone, second play of the game.
Absolutely. Set the whole the tone for the game. I mean, that's how you start. And honestly, when you start a game that way, you go out there defense, and you get a takeaway, and then we turn it into points like that, 7 points. And then you come out of the third quarter, and the offense takes it all the way down for a touchdown. That's how you got to start. But defense showed up. They played well. I mean, I think they were, you know, I got it right here. They were 3 of 12 on third down. I mean, that's good stuff. You know, you get off the field. They really couldn't get in a rhythm because our guys played well. There again, look, this is one of those games where you could give out a game ball to a number of guys because there's a lot of guys that played well, and that's what you want. You know, I felt like all three units played pretty well today.
How impressive was it that I don't think you had a penalty until the fourth quarter? Is that the fourth quarter?
Yeah, I mean, look, we've been playing pretty disciplined football. Now, sometimes I think you assume you're going to get a couple. That's part of playing the game. But we've been good. That it really hadn't hurt us. You know, we've been pretty disciplined. So, I mean, that always helps. But they really didn't get called for anything either. This crew lets you play a little bit.
Maybe this ties into what AG said during the week about sort of this being the next hurdle to get over, coming back from a loss. Being able to take that and show you can put it at points here. But why do you think that is? You mentioned off the top that this could be a springboard for the rest of it.
I just think it was big. It was for everything that I started this whole speech with that he didn't like and bored him. I'm just joking. But no, that was for all those reasons, for all three of them. You know, I mean, there's a number of things that you want to make sure that, man, it's 100% focus and it's a faceless opponent, and we did that. It's another competitor in front of us, and you got to play good football to win. Period. You know, it didn't always turn out like this, and you know, but they needed to be prepared to, hey, it's going to come down the last 2 minutes of the game to win. And you know what? We played good enough where it wasn't that way. So.
You guys had a bunch of injury issues early middle part of the year.
Mm-hmm.
How nice is it to, I guess, be closer to full strength as you can measure entering the stretch right now?
It's very nice. It's very nice to have. You know, it's the healthiest we've been. You know, I think there's a good chance we could get Romeo back next week. We'll see where he goes, but that's just another guy. You know, and. So it's, man, we're getting healthy at the right time. We're playing our best football at the right time. And look, man, I like this team.
This week you said Jacksonville was a mirror image of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The way you guys won today,
Mm-hmm.
and validating your team, what do you think it says about the line?
I think it just simply says that we're maturing. I think that's what it says. I think we're maturing, we're growing, and we continue to get a little bit better. That's probably the best way to say it. I think a couple of things. You win that way, but also to come out of halftime, you're up, and to be able to finish that game out like we did, I think it shows the maturity level of a young team. That's what I think it says, which is great.
You've seen you play against some pretty good teams the last couple of weeks and have some pretty good performances. You've been
I do. Yeah, I think we can compete with anybody. You know, and you got to do all the things right to win, as we all know. It doesn't matter who you play. It doesn't matter what the record is. If you don't play clean enough football, you turn the ball over, you don't get takeaways, you get a ton of penalties, then no, you're not going to win. Doesn't matter who you play. But when we do things right, I like our odds. He's kicking it well. He's kicking it well. You know, once again, he came through big for us. You know, and I got a lot of faith in him. He's earned that.
Last one, guys. Thank you.
Okay.
Goff,
Thanks.
DJ Chark. Chark and Goff.
You just heard head coach Dan Campbell say this win could catapult them into the rest of December,
Yes.
which could prove to be a very big month for these Detroit Lions and what could possibly be on the horizon. Let's talk about final stats, Lomas. Jared Goff, you talked about him first. He sliced and diced in the pass game today. It was really impressive. Rush game for the Detroit Lions. They etched out 100 yards even. They had been, kind of knocking on the door of 100 yards here as of late. What impresses you most? You see 337 passing yards for the Lions to Jacksonville's just 171.
You know what I like, Danny? Look at that time of possession.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we had over 36 minutes,
Yeah.
and they only had 23 minutes. So that lets me know that our offense dominated the game, kept the chains moving, kept Trevor Lawrence and that offense on the sideline. That's huge. That helps your defense out because your defense gets the rest. But again, your offense just continuously moves the ball and keep the ball and don't give them an opportunity. So time of possession is the one thing that really jumps off at me out there.
Yeah, that certainly is key. You see the one turnover, which was on the second play of the game for Jacksonville, that forced fumble from safety Deshaun Elliott, and Alex Anzalone, linebacker, recovers it, I believe, for the second game in a row.
Yeah,
he was able to do that with Malcolm Rodriguez last week.
Absolutely.
The veteran in the right place at the right time. Two running backs, though, who really showed up today. We haven't said this in a while, but of course we know Jamal Williams has been on an uptick. DeAndre Swift has slowly been working his way back from shoulder and leg injuries. Well, Swifty's back. Swifty, Swaggy, they're back, right?
Oh, my God, Danny. He is so important to our offense. He really is. Even when he doesn't get the ball and he's in the game, he affects the defense. And that's what you want. And when he does get the ball, he just makes so many things happen. I mean, look at his average, 4.4 yards an average when he touched the ball. And that's just huge for us. So to have that two-headed monster in the backfield, I think we probably have two of the best running backs in our backfield tandem in the league. So happy for those guys. But again, Danny, it started up front with the big fellas.
I know you want to give those big fellas
Thank
credit,
you.
and they deserve a lot of credit for Jamal's 14 rushing touchdowns on the season, which last time I checked still leads the NFL. DeAndre Swift, though, he had 49 receiving yards. What volumes does that speak to the receiving corps?
Exactly. So, Danny, that's why I say you have this guy in the backfield. Jared gets in trouble. Guess what? He could dump it off to DeAndre. Oh, you can match him up on the linebacker. Guess what? No linebacker in the league is going to keep up with DeAndre Swift. So it's so many mix-match problems that he causes when he's out there on the field. That's why we got to have that young man out there lining up with number 32 on his back. We got to have him, Danny.
I agree. And another young man you have to have out there is second-year receiver Amon-Ra St. Brown. Welcome back, Sun God. Hello. He has been crushing it in his last few games, just teetering around that 100-yard receiving mark. He gets 114 receiving yards today and 2 big touchdowns. How does he open up that pass game?
Oh, my God. Dude is awesome, man. St. Brown, he's a Brown. And, it's something special about us Browns. But St. Brown is really doing. Amon-Ra, like I said, Danny, a couple of weeks ago, I think he has an old soul. He plays like a 10-year veteran. He knows how to find the openings. He knows how to get himself open. He knows how to present a big target for Jared to get the ball to. The guy acts like he's been here before. Such an impressive player. He's so reliable. I'm telling you, our offense wouldn't be nearly what it is if he wasn't on the field for us.
I agree with y'all. Let's talk about one of your favorite parts of this offense, the offensive line.
Oh, yes.
Just how steady have they been with leaders like Taylor Decker and Penei Sewell? I know, so close to your heart.
Thank you for touching my heart.
You're welcome.
Yes, but the big fellas, those 300-pounders, the guys that eat a lot, that's Danny. Okay, let me calm down.
Yeah, calm down for a second.
They played so well today in the run game, pass game. I seen Jared look this way one time. He looked back that way, then he came back this way. That's time, Danny. You only get that when your offensive linemen give you time. Plus, they were just as great in the run game, too. They gave those guys lane that they needed to get through. I think Trayvon Walker played today, the first pick in the draft. I didn't hear the name.
Quiet game today.
Yeah, because those big fellas up front handled their business. Way to go. Those faceless 5 guys up front, hey, you guys did it today. Yes,
Man,
sir.
40 points. Would you have anticipated 40 points on that scoreboard today?
Not 40, and I know we average a lot of points, and we got one of the top offenses, but I didn't think we were going to hit 40 today. I was so happy to hit 42, Danny, because, you know, I don't like worrying when I'm up in the radio booth. I don't like worrying about the game. I want the game to be out of control so I can relax, you know?
I agree. It was very relaxing today,
Yes.
and one of the Lions players who made it enjoyable to watch is DJ Chark, wide receiver. He was placed on IR earlier this season, just a few weeks ago, dealing with a foot injury. He comes in against the team that drafted him.
Yes.
We know DJ Chark is able to start over here in Detroit, and he was able to get back out onto the field today. 98 receiving yards. Every time he touched the ball, it was for just under 20 yards a reception. That 41-yard dagger he hauled in.
Yes.
What tone did that set early on?
Danny, that set the tone right there. I think Coach Campbell said that. I mean, when you have guys that go make plays, and he had one catch that I thought was phenomenal, but guys are making plays for Jared, and that's what you need. Sometimes you need guys to make plays for your quarterback, and that's what they've been doing. It's so great to have them, and it's so great to have all our 3-yard receivers healthy and be on the field, because you can see they are difference makers when they're out on the field.
I agree. Let's hear from the difference maker, DJ Chark, here at my post-game interview with the receiver. Team was tasked with the question, could they return to the same team it was during that 3-game win streak in November? What was this Detroit Lions response?
I think this was one of our best performances yet. Defense came in, balled out, offense came in. I don't believe we punted all day. And, you know, we've been saying we're going to have one of those games. We finally had it. So, you know, it's good that we was able to put it together today, and now it's time to build for the rest of the season.
No punts, 40 points later. How was this offense able to find the end zone with so much ease today?
Hats off to the scheme, of course, and hats off to the, you know, players just making plays. I feel like we all was in sync. We all knew what we had to do today, and we came out, and I feel like we did that.
You told me before in this season, you allow yourself to take in the big moments, to come here against your former team, 98 receiving yards. What moment will you take in the most from today?
Just being out there playing again, man. It's been so long. Being in this game plan, being able to make plays when the ball comes to me, and also celebrate my brothers when they make plays.
Congrats, DJ. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just really excited for DJ. He's able to get back on his horse and really show that he can stretch the field and open up this pass game. Let's switch gears to the defense, Lomas. We have to talk about rookie. You can't even guess which one. There's so many making an immediate impact. But it's this guy, James Houston, the problem. Limited snap count for him. He only had 5 snaps last game, 2 sacks. He comes in here again. He's mainly in that 3rd down package. His one goal is to get to the quarterback. He did that again today.
You know, we used to call guys like that, when guys that come in halfway through the season, we used to say those guys got fresh legs, because you could just see how they're popping and getting off. And this young man has fresh legs. James Houston, I watch his individual pass rushes, Danny, and he gets off the ball so fast. He has such good leverage when he gets off, and he's relentless. He's always getting after guys, and that's a special trait to have. And I think he's going to be a phenomenal player. Still a long ways to go, still a lot to learn, but what he's done in his first 2 games in limited action, like you said, it's been great. It really has been.
This Detroit Lions defensive staff definitely wants us to pump the brakes on James Houston. They think we're giving him too much love, but if you take a look at the sack he had here today, there's a reason for it, you guys.
Thank you,
I mean, he was
Danny.
able to come up with that sack right before the half on quarterback Trevor Lawrence. It was not a great hit for Trevor Lawrence to take. James Houston just kind of kept spinning around like this. A routine play, able to get to the quarterback. That's what he did.
There was nothing dirty about it. It was a clean play. Like you say, Trevor knee just got tangled up in there. But it was a clean play. And like I say, James is so relentless. He was after that big fella, and he got him.
His nickname is the problem for a reason.
Okay, the problem.
So he ties Aiden Hutchinson now this season. Only 2 rookies there with 3 sacks through their first 2 career games.
So nobody has a solution for that problem.
No solution
you
yet.
Like that?
I hope they don't. You're a character, Lomas. Sticking with this defense, looking at more of the sacks here coming up today. There were plenty along the defensive front to get to Trevor Lawrence. The defense's goal was to really push the pocket, make Trevor Lawrence uncomfortable, and make him go through his progressions. How well did they do that today?
They did a great job, Danny. Like you say, a lot of times it won't reflect in sacks, but pressures, hits, and making this quarterback speed up. That's all you want to do. You want to get around that guy and let that guy know that you're around him. And they did a phenomenal job of doing that. I thought Aaron Glenn called a great game plan. He blitzed when he needed to, but when he didn't have to, those guys, again, were able to get pressure.
Benito Jones and Aiden Hutchinson combined there for a sack on Trevor Lawrence, and Hutch just keeps chipping away, just keeps adding more sacks to his resume. What'd you see out of the rookie today?
Well, I know you like that because he used to wear that big block M.
The big old block M. We definitely don't hate it, Lomas. Go Blue.
But he's been playing great, Dan. He really has. Look, he's outshining the guy that went ahead of him, Trayvon Walker. I think Aiden is coming into his own. And like Tony Baselli, the announcer for Jacksonville, said, Aiden is a natural pass rusher where Trayvon isn't a national pass rusher. So he's going to be a little ahead of him. But what I love about Aiden the most is his motor, Danny, because he's always going. So this young man, this is just the start of a phenomenal career that he's going to have.
Hutch with the mental and physical motors. That's why you see 2 interceptions there up on the board. But another impact player for this Detroit Lions defense today was safety Deshaun Elliott, right off the bat, forcing a fumble. What kind of impact does Deshaun Elliott make when he's out there on the field?
I think he's us missing Tracy Walker. I don't think we miss Tracy as much because of Deshaun. I love Tracy, and you know I love Tracy, but this young man has stepped in, and I think he's made up for us losing Tracy. I think he's guiding that secondary. I think he is the guy that lines everybody up, make sure they get the plays in. And you know what? He'll come up and knock you out too. So I love that about him.
Yeah, not a bad player for rookie Kirby Joseph to be learning from. Let's take a look at the play of the game. And of course, we are throwing it back to just the second play of this game. Jacksonville on offense looking to score there. And Deshaun Elliott is going to come up big with a big forced fumble. Here we go. Check out this play. Lomas, walk us through this thing.
Just a great job of pursuing. Ooh, wait a minute. Let me walk you through that hit.
Yeah.
Now, that's how you drop your shoulder, Danny. That's how you lift the guy.
He braced himself, right?
Yes, and it was a great breakdown, too. But he lifted the guy, and he was able to separate him from the ball. And our guy, Alex Anzalone, Johnny on the spot, was right there to get the ball. So that was a great play. And that's how you want to start the game out. Second play of the game, and you get that? Absolutely. You can't start it no better than that. Nice job, young man.
You really can. And Coach Campbell said whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, and he needed his team to clean up some things, they would have a really good chance to win. So to set the tone that early is just phenomenal for this team. Some more love to Alex Anzalone. He wears the green dot. What does he do for this team?
Well, you know, first of all, he's a Florida Gator, like the big fella standing next to you. Hi. But look, but Anzalone, man, I know he is the captain. He wears the C. So, again, he gets guys lined up. But to me, he's the emotional leader. When Alex is out there filling the holes, running from sideline to sideline, I think everybody else kind of picks up on that. And I think they kind of raise their level up, too. So Alex has been great for us all year long, Danny. I think he's been pretty steady all year long. Maybe a little rough in the beginning, but I think he's probably been one of our best players over the last, 4 or 5 games, and been coming up with nice turnovers for us and helping the offense out. So, and you know I love the blonde hair. I love how it flows. I love how it flows, Danny.
The entire Anzalone is blonde, and they're just beautiful. Okay, Anzalone, a very steady force for this defense. It's quarterback Jared Goff who's been the steady force for this offense. Very consistent day in and day out, made no mistakes today, was very elite in his play. Taking a look at it now, 31 completions, good for 76%. Man, that's above average there for 340 yards and 2 touchdowns today. Looking at that passer rating, 115.9. Everyone was talking about Trevor Lawrence's passer rating coming into this one. All right, well, here's the Detroit Lions quarterback answering with his own.
You exactly, and Danny, no turnovers. That's a good thing, no turnovers, but you are absolutely right. That ball was popping off Jared's hands today. He was getting back in this set. He was getting that ball out of his hand. He was able to scan the field because of the offensive line giving them time back there. And when Jared has time and can plant his feet, he's one of the best quarterbacks in this league. So we're lucky to have a guy like that right now who's playing at the level that Jared is playing at, because he's helping to keep this team afloat and helping us stay in this playoff race.
Yeah, and that is why Jared Goff is our player of the game. I think that's the first time we've been like, quarterback one, take it away so far this season, just because it was just so outstanding, those 340 yards through the air. But just looking at some of his highlights, what sticks out to you the most, Lomas?
Well, again, how he was able to put the ball on the guy. Danny, almost all his passes, guys were catching it in stride. They didn't even have to break their stride. He was dropping dimes, nickels, quarters, whatever you could drop, he was dropping them out there today. And just his composure, I love the way he's always composed, and that helps the team, helps the offense, helps this organization.
The entire offense was steady thanks to QB1. And Jared Goff is standing by at the podium now. Let's hear what he had to say.
Jack got his holding in. Besides that, yeah, he had the day off.
But just what went right? It looked like everything. I mean, the offensive line.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys up front, first of all, like you said, they kind of set the tone, run game and pass game. I mean, specifically for me in the pass game, it was clean pockets all day long, and guys were getting open, and we knew what kind of game it was going to be. The coverages they play, they get so much depth typically. It was going to be the underneath passing game, and when our shots were there, we were going to take them, but for the most part, it was just going to be completions, and that's what we did.
You put into words just what it feels like when the offense is so unstoppable.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels good, man. It really does. I think the turnover that we had in the first drive, or that the defense forced in the first drive, kind of gave us that energy, and we walked right down and scored, and then we did it again on the next drive. And at that point, we're kind of like, all right, we can have our way if we just keep doing our job. And I think, again, the second half, walking down and scoring again to start the half, it's a mindset and it's all that. But, yeah, it feels good, and I can't speak to how good that offensive line did today.
You've been on some great teams.
Yep.
Speak to the confidence of the team. You know, we talked to Dan.
Yeah.
Said you guys feel like that would be anybody at this point.
We feel like we can, and we believe we can. Yeah, certainly. We've beaten good teams. We've beaten teams with lesser records. We've dominated teams, and we've had our times where we've struggled. But in the last 5 games, we've been playing good football and taking care of the ball on offense, causing turnovers on defense, and clean in the kicking game. It's a pretty good formula, and we've been doing that. And it feels good. That was as complete team win as I've been a part of. And it was really, really well done, and proud of our guys.
Jerry, 3 different situations with Swift, Chark, and Reynolds are all kind of still getting active.
Yeah.
And all 3 of those guys are out there and you kind of got the whole thing running.
Yeah.
Can you explain how different it is?
Yeah.
And maybe some of the patchwork jobs are doing.
We were joking about it earlier this week, like calling it, we had our horses back, and you could feel it on Wednesday, with Josh and DJ, and obviously Swift with his progression now where he's at. Those guys make it a huge difference. They're some of our best players, and getting them on the field and getting them the ball typically results in good things and makes my life a lot easier when they're on the field.
Just getting another turnover attack to that mix, James.
Yeah.
He got a few points today. Just what you see from him during the week, and what how important was it to get him?
Yeah, it was great. Had the one shot on the go ball. Wish we could connected, but it was good to get a rep with him there. But yeah, it'll progress from here. It'll be more probably next week. How much I don't know, but make sure he's dialed in on his packages, and he'll do a great job. He's like you said, a thoroughbred and a guy that, as good as we are at receiver right now and the health we have, can add to that group and make it even more explosive. What was it? Yeah, he's running a post, but yeah, he's an option. Yeah.
Do you like the patience that the staff has had, bringing him on? I know you say he was back in mini camp and leading around. You wanted to like to give yesterday, but do you like the patience that the staff has had in bringing him along and keeping his confidence right now?
Yeah, again, I would have liked to have him in April, but no, I mean, right now it's great. Get him back now, and he looks healthy. He feels healthy. He looks great. I think as a rookie, he's going to want to come out and light the world on fire, as we all do want him to. But he's going to have his plays that he's going to know and he's going to be good at, and we're going to roll with him on those and whatever that may be. I just don't want you guys to set expectations so high, and he's a rookie. He hasn't had any reps, and as time goes, he will be that guy. He really will be. He's got everything it takes to be that guy, that premier threat in this league, and I'm excited to watch him grow into that.
Just how good is Saint? Do you marvel sometimes watching?
Yeah, he's really good.
At just how he can separate, get open. Just seems like you're security.
Yeah, he's really good, and he's just so tough, man. He's so tough, and he's got great hands. I mean, even though the first one that could have been picked off, that got tipped up in the air, for him to come down with that, like, just stuff like that gives you so much confidence. A quarterback, I throw that ball over the middle to him, makes the catch and gets blasted and gets up. And it's just he's a stud. He's a bulldog, and a guy that I'm fortunate to play with and hope to play with him for a long time.
It seemed like things between you and DJ were starting to click in week 3, and
Yeah.
it goes down for 6-7 games. How important was this particular game just building for the stretch run here, just the chemistry you guys had?
It's huge. I'm happy we hit the go ball. Just being able to be on the same page with him, get him involved a little bit more. You could tell coming into this week he was ready to go. I'm sure you guys talked to him earlier, but he was ready to go come Wednesday, coming into this one, and I think last week getting his feet underneath him, and then this week he's really going now, and he'll be one of our vertical threats and premier guys in the offense going forward.
This is a video of you kind of running up and giving the bench on TV.
Yeah.
Just how important is he been for everything with the offense?
Yeah, man, he's the mastermind. He really is. He's done a hell of a job every single week, kind of reloading the chamber and just giving us more bullets to go with every single week. Every single week it seems like we've got a good plan and a bunch of touchdown plays, a bunch of explosive plays in the run game as well, just what he's been able to do and designing that. And again, every week it seems like we come back and we've got an even better plan and then a better plan. And can't speak to how great he's been, and I'm happy to be with him.
First catch St. Brown made, defender.
Yeah.
How impressed were you with that one?
Yeah, it was great. It was great. I've been on the wrong side enough of those to get one of them my way, so it was great. And again, the catches like that, build confidence for me to want to throw him that ball over the middle when it's going to be tight again. And I can't speak enough to how confident I feel throwing him the ball right now, and how important he is to our team.
Can you just say a few words about our last night now, how important it is for the team, and also as a person for you to play with?
Yeah, I wish I could speak German for you. That'd be really good. Yeah, he's incredible. He's incredible. He's as as good of a player as I've been around, and does everything in the run game, the pass game. I've spoken to what he's done in the pass game for us, obviously with making those catches he made throughout this game, but in the run game too. Some of those blocks he's making that may not show up on the highlight reel are real deal. Blocking safeties, blocking linebackers. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he sticks his nose in there and makes those blocks for us. And again, a guy that sky's the limit for him.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks, guys.
Ready for the sports science breakdown on the spin move, man.
Quarterback Jared Goff made sure to let us know to pump the brakes on wide receiver Jameson Williams just a little bit, okay? It's his first game back. He's been rehabbing his ACL. 3 snaps, though. He was targeted one time in tight coverage. I mean,
look, Danny, I was being greedy. I wanted to see him out there a little bit more. I wanted to see him go to him. But I understand. The coaches want to be cautious with him. And might as well, too. But I want to see that speed. Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh, I want to see it. I can't wait. I can't wait.
Great time to unleash it next week against the Vikings.
Thank you.
Why not? Okay, something we have to talk about who was money today for these Detroit Lions is the money badger, Michael Badgley, going perfect from extra point and field goal range today. I mentioned it last time I checked. He had more points than the Jacksonville Jaguars scored altogether. I'm pretty sure that's still true. I mean, to have special teams be as complete as it is, how much of an important piece is Badgley to all of that?
Oh, my, Danny. So I've been blessed when I played with the Lions. I had Eddie Murray, one of the best kickers ever. Jason Hansen, who's behind us, one of the best kickers ever. We never had to worry about that. That was something that Detroit always has, was good kickers. And hopefully Michael Badgley, the money badger, hopefully he's going to be one of the next guys that'll be able to take it to the next level with this team. It's something that we've always taken pride in on special teams, so hopefully we'll be able to keep that going and stuff. And hey, he was perfect today, so I like it. I like it.
Your friend, Mr. Hansen, do you think he'd come over?
Well, you know, we're going to get that guy over here because, you know, and he's a kicker. I mean, you know, hey, Jason.
We'll see if we can get Mr. Jason
We're
Hansen.
going to try to get
This is
Jason.
important because Michael Badgley had a very big game. He spent the first part of his season with the LA Chargers. He was money for them. And now he comes here to Detroit trying to make his name. Are they getting him?
Yes.
Oh, gosh. I would like to see what the GOAT Jason Hansen has to say about this.
We would love to see what he has to say about Michael Badgley, the money badger.
Yes.
Yes.
Any fond memories with
Oh,
Jason Hansen?
yeah, it's fun. But that young man there, yes.
No one says no to Lomas Brown, by the way.
He's one of the best ever.
So we've had Barry Sanders on the show because of you, and now possibly Jason Hansen.
Now, Jason used to have long hair, but
really?
you know, age does
Don't
things
do
to
him
us.
like that.
It does things to us. Come on over here. There you go. Look at that.
You got to come on our live show.
Oh, come on over here. How are you, Jason?
I'm doing good. I'm entertaining the fans.
Thank you. And you're doing a wonderful job. We have you on the camera. Okay. But the one thing we wanted to ask you about was
Michael Badgley, perfect today, 16 points. Your face right there says it all. What did you make of his performance?
It was huge, right? Every field goal that he made kept momentum. Didn't switch it. Didn't give him an opportunity. I mean, with the scoreline being what it was, it may seem like it wasn't important, but it was huge what he did, and he made everything. So the Lions have a really good kicker.
Yeah.
Can we?
Wow. Wait. We have a really good kicker.
You have a really good kicker. You do.
I'm not gonna tease him, Danny, but this is my guy, man. And he had a routine. Jason had a routine that he couldn't break it, Danny. I mean,
Like
Jason had to
pregame,
line
in-game,
it
the whole
up.
thing?
Oh, he had to line it up. He had to walk back 3 steps, line it up again, go over to the side.
Is he crushing this right now?
What it is.
Am I right?
It's a routine. You gotta have it. Linemen, they don't understand. They don't get it. They just squat down and hit people.
Yeah, no physical attributes needed at all.
None whatsoever. None whatsoever.
No, he's really good. He's been money.
Yeah.
You know, last week he missed the short one, but then bombed the 51. That really says something. And then to do what he did today, it's key to their success.
Yeah, and it's great, Jason. It's great to see these guys winning. It was so much fun seeing those guys go up the tunnel because, you know, it's hard to win in this league, and anytime you get an opportunity, you take advantage of it.
I think they knew the way they played, but that game was huge for them. 4-7 against 4-7, each trying to prove that they're legitimate. One was going to maybe walk away not feeling that way. It's the Jaguars that don't feel that way. It's the Lions who are feeling they actually have something going. I think they do. I think that they are for real. It's exciting.
So, you know, I'm going to come over there a little later and show you up because I think this leg right here might be better than that leg right there.
Don't do it. We don't want to see you in the rehab. You're going to pull something, Lomas.
We appreciate you so much.
Thanks, Jason, my guy. This
Thanks
is
for
my
having
guy
me.
right here.
We appreciate you.
I don't go around wearing my jersey. I'm over there. Okay, so thank you.
Do what you want.
Hey, so you all won't see Jason walking the streets with number 4 on. You won't see that.
Once a year when I'm on the field helping the fans.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
Thank you.
Jason.
Thank
My
you.
guy.
All right, Lomas. Wow. Yeah, you guys both talk some big games against each other.
Oh, yeah. And, man, look, one of the greatest kickers to ever play this game.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's talking about when he watches the Money Badger kick. So hopefully, man, it'll be good for us.
Long-standing kicker for Detroit.
Yes.
Why not, since Matt Prater went to the Cardinals? Okay, we have to take a look around the league for the NFL. We got to check in on that Bears-Packers game in the NFC North. I know last time I checked, Bears were winning. Oh, and Green Bay came back.
Wow.
I believe Chicago Bears, their hopes of playoffs, squashed today. All right, let's start from the top. Bills getting a big win over the Patriots, 24-10. Ooh, Steelers squeezing one out against the Falcons. Broncos, wow, really? 10-9 against Ravens?
Russell Wilson hadn't been good, Danny.
Wow, but the Ravens just 10 points. They need to bounce back here real soon. Lamar Jackson apparently went down in that game. Check for those updates, I'm sure, on Twitter. Browns gained the win over Houston. Not sure how you feel about that, but Texans could not get it done. Vikings, okay, this game was not close to begin with against the Jets. Jets made it a game, but Vikings pull out a big win on the road.
Yes.
Wow. New York Giants. Is that, or did they tie? Is that a final? They tied.
Wow.
There's nothing uglier than a tie in the National Football League. I'll tell you that. Tennessee getting dominated against the Philadelphia Eagles. Some people are questioning if they were legit. Yes, Philly's real.
Are.
Please
yes,
don't question that.
Yes.
No dumb. There are dumb questions, and that is one of them. All right, so stay tuned for the rest of it. But Lomas, I have to get your final takeaways from this very big win in Week 13 against the Jags.
Danny, very impressive win from the start to the finish of that game. That's the way Detroit needs to come out and play the rest of this season. They played hungry. They played a team that they knew they could beat, and they went out there and beat that team, and they left no doubt, Danny. And that's what you got to do. When you get your foot on somebody's neck, stomp it on that neck. Stomp them out, Danny. And that's what we did today. Hopefully we'll be able to do that next week.
Next week against the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes.
This is a very big one. Lions almost got the win over the Vikings here earlier in the season on the road, but now it's time for Minnesota to come to Detroit. What needs to happen if Detroit would like to stomp on some more necks, like you just said, Lomas?
Well, the thing we got to do is what we didn't do in the first game. We can't have turnovers, Danny. Can't give them opportunities. And our defense, that's what's going to have to be big for us. They've been big these last couple of weeks. They're going to have a monumental test when they get Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen and those guys coming in here. So hopefully we could keep it going. We got some weapons too, Danny.
Yeah.
So if it's a shootout, we're going to go to shooting with them, Danny.
I like the Lions' chances of winning a shootout. I just do.
Yes.
I just do. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Very deep on that offensive side. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Danny Rogers. Thank you so much for tuning into Detroit Lions Live post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. That was Week 13. The final looks so good up there on the scoreboard in Ford Field. 40-14. Just nothing like it. You just look at it.
I like it, Danny. 40
love
points.
it.
I love it.
Maybe, I mean,
see, I had to even put my hand on my hip when you did.
Yeah, you
I
got
did
real
the same
sassy.
thing. I did.
Get real sassy
Let's
with
get
it.
sassy. Hi.
I was going to say, Ben Johnson was tasked with, I think, putting 83 points on the board, so he's halfway there this week. Maybe a little bit more next week against the Vikings. I don't know. All right, for Lomas Brown, he is checking his heart rate monitor as we speak. We have got to close this show out. 40-14, the final from Ford Field. We will see you right back here next week. Detroit Lions taking on those Minnesota Vikings.